Hey everybody, Iconic Shaman here, or Mr. Joshua Bishop, known in other places. Today we're running SmackDown vs. Raw 2011.
I'm breaking Undertaker's
this run
streak.
was pre-recorded.
I'll beat anyone you
got
put
a new
in front
time
of me.
here, but I local recorded and I'm doing this commentary after because I just wanted to give a better explanation of strats here. What we're doing is we're running the road to WrestleMania versus Undertaker. You can skip this cutscene, by the way, but I'm leaving it in just because it's so cool. You can't use created superstars for obvious reasons, unbalanced overalls, and the fact that you can change the movesets. If you've played enough online matches to know, you'll understand why. There's Kofi Kingston, John Morrison, Dolph Ziggler, and R-Truth that you can play as. But we're going to play as Kofi because Kofi gives us the best option as far as winning. And you're going to see the start of the run here from the first input now. And there you go. We're underway. So basically what you do for this run here is, of course, you're going to go to WrestleMania and you're going to go defeat The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26, where he's currently undefeated and doesn't lose to Brock Lesnar for another 4 years after this. So, you know. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started with the first match. You run straight to it. It's a bit of a free roamer, but most of it's useless as far as the run goes. You're just going to run straight to the match and get it underway. This is going to be our script for most of it. We're going to knock the guy down with the forearm, and this is where Kofi comes into play and why he's such a monster at it. He's got good speed. You're going to hit a bunch of springboards here, and then you're going to go for a dive. You're going to hit about 3 dives. It's 2 springboards and a natural dive, and you're going to get the signature right here, the boom drop. It's perfect because it's right on the ground after the dive, and then you can hit your finish right here, the SOS, or you can do the Trouble in Paradise. Either way, it's about a 1 second difference between each of them. As far as the actual script goes, it's pretty easy and straightforward. This match, however, can screw you in the early going because Randy Orton has resiliency. So even at easy difficulty, sometimes it can go 1, 2, and Randy Orton will kick out. And if he does that, you're just screwed. But if you're not screwed, then you'll finish in a minute. In fact, if you can get out of the first 2 matches with 3 minutes, you're on very good pace. So now we go into our second match here against Triple H. And again, Kofi is just going to be the all-around best option. He's agile. His signature sets up perfect. His finishers are quick and easy to do. And what helps me, I think the SOS is faster than the Trouble in Paradise because it gives you a pinning animation right away. And I tried the Trouble in Paradise earlier and I lost time doing it. But now, again, Triple H is going to be a guy who can screw you and just kind of do anything he wants. So a lot of the run is going to be determined really on RNG and if they're nice to you or not. But the script, for the most part, is pretty easy in what you want to do. You want to hit the springboards. You want to knock the guy down to begin. You want to get the springboards, and then you want to hit the dive right here. Follow up with the boom drop, get your finish, and then you move on to the next part. But I think right here, Triple H, he can do something right here. Yes, like that. That's perfect. You see right there, Triple H can kind of do his own thing. I'm trying to do my finish, but he keeps reversing it until finally, there you go. And that's annoying because stuff like that will lose time. But if you can get out of here in under 3 minutes, you're on pretty good pace.
Kofi did it.
So that's the first 2 matches. They're pretty set forward and easy. And then you go into the third match, which will be coming up here. It'll be a triple threat between Vladimir Kozlov and Chris Jericho. And yes, you have to sit through this car scene. I mean, I love how detailed it is that, you know, hey, you're actually driving to the arena and you get to see where you're at that night. But the whole tedious part about it is just running to the level itself.
Raw is on the air.
But, you know, I mean, I figure you do it in Mario, you do it in Donkey Kong, you do it in every game where you have level selection or you have stuff to do with objectives. You do it pretty frequently. It's just you run straight to where your match is going to be. You go wrestle your match. Now, the thing about this triple threat is a timed sequence. You're not going to get a finish out of here. You're just going to go in and do the match. So for this situation, I'm going to try to focus Vladimir Kozlov the most I can because at about 2 or 3 minutes into the match, The Undertaker is going to pop up. And what my friend Delta didn't realize when I was trying to tell him, he just said it didn't matter. I'm like, what I'm trying to tell him is that every time The Undertaker comes in queues, he always goes after Chris Jericho. And every time I've gone after Jericho when Taker was supposed to come, I would either miss the cue or the cue would be maybe 10 seconds late. So all I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to beat up Vladimir Kozlov and Chris Jericho and just show off. Now, we're trying to get an actual WWE game at Games Done Quick, but we haven't had much success. I know my friend Delta, like I mentioned, has been trying to get it along with our friends over at the Armbar Society. They've been trying to get a game on there for the wrestling fans out there, but they haven't had much success. I've even seen guys try to submit Royal Rumble runs, but nothing, no luck, no dice. But we're going to keep trying, and hopefully we can get in at AGDQ 2017, but I don't know if we will, in all honesty. But again, you know, the simplicity of this run as far as everything goes, it is pretty easy as long as you've played the wrestling game before, and even if you haven't, I think it's pretty easy to pick up as far as what you need to do and where you need to do it. And then after that, it's just all about getting the god luck of the run, because RNG is the biggest vice of this game as far as the actual speed run goes. It can be nice to you and it can help you out, and you can get the god run, because I believe sub 40 is possible. My actual best is 41 and some change. I think it's like 41, 42, or I can't remember. It was in the 41s, but I wasn't able to record that, and I forgot to anyway, but that's basically how fast you can go in this game with some luck. And there you're going to see The Undertaker after Jericho finally gets off Kozlov, and Taker is just going to continue to focus him. So that's why I'm just going to go ahead and keep beating up Vladimir Kozlov, and I'm just going to keep focusing and keep doing everything I can as Jericho just is going to mix it up with Taker. And then coming up after this is going to be a tag match. So all I'm just going to do is show off and do as much as I can. But again, RNG is going to be a really big factor in the run for several different reasons, and I'm going to get the pinfall, but it's not going to matter because the match is already over. And Undertaker's the last man standing. Why? Game logic. That's why. So now we head into what's going to be a tag match, and again, so far it's just straight simple. You go start in a parking lot, you run straight to the match, and it's pretty free from there. But tag matches, you would think a tag match would be hard, but actually a tag match is pretty straightforward and simple. The only difference being you're not going to do the SOS. It's actually faster to do the Trouble in Paradise and then run over to the opponent and knock them down. So I'm going to try to do that. The only risk with diving on the guys is that if you try to go on the top rope or if you get too close to somebody, the partner can grab you and it can just really set you up and put you in a bad bind here. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to knock down the guy. We're going to go into the springboards. We're going to try to keep him pinned down enough to get the boom drop going. See, I tried to go up top. I saw an animation. I thought Chris Jericho wasn't going to attack me. I thought he was going to say stuck in the animation, but I was wrong. Sometimes I can get lucky on that. Other times I can't. So Vladimir broke out, and I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to give him some space. I'm going to break away to keep him away from Jericho. Play it safer after having lost a little bit of time doing that. Go up high. There's the leg drop. I don't have enough for the boom drop yet, so I'm going to do another springboard. There it is. And that should be the boom drop. Yep.
Kingston.
Run the ropes. Boom, boom, boom. With the power of positivity, we're coming with a New Day member Kofi Kingston before you have to join the New Day, of course. But speaking of which, those guys are freaking brilliant, just as an aside here. And I'm going to screw up here because the targeting in this game is amazing. But what you hopefully want to do is you hopefully want to be aimed right at Chris Jericho. And then there you go. Easy. Not as fast as I would have liked, but it's enough to get the job done. And now we get a cutscene, and fortunately we can skip most of the cutscenes in this game, which is a very good reason why this run is fairly short. Although there's some cutscenes that I can't do much about, and most of the cutscenes you can't do anything about are going to be in free roams, like you're fixing to see here with the brilliant promo chops of Kofi Kingston. So now we're preparing for the Royal Rumble, and this is going to be a ladder match. You would think it'd be a 30-man Royal Rumble to determine who gets to face The Undertaker, but I'm surprised they actually kept that bit of story in the game where the 30 men in the match are actually fighting for the right to challenge the world champion. But, you know, I'll take what I can get here. I mean, it's an easier match in the long run, but it can be really frustrating in the context of the run.
30 men in the Royal Rumble match, they're looking at a nice prize if they win.
But me, when I win this ladder match, I go on to WrestleMania, where I will make history.
What a great promo. 10 out of 10, brought a tear to my eye. And that's ESPN's Todd Grisham, the Grish, serving the dish, and yada yada yada. WEDF memes. Hello, Frank Dog. Anyway, we're moving on to the ladder match, and there's only really one set strategy for the ladder match. Sometimes you can get lucky if you're fast enough and bring it down in 4 pulls or 5 pulls. And I've noticed that the briefcase is a bit of it's like a bit on an interval, where if you can get it super fast and get it in like 2 minutes, you can get it in 4 pulls or you can get it in 5. But usually, if you can't get it fast enough, then you have to pull it down 6 times. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to throw both of them out, and I'm going to hope they turn and focus each other while I can just climb up here. Usually, the reason I did that, though, usually it's usually the other guy just stands on the apron, but in this case they were smart, and now I'm fixing to get the Jeff Hardy spot.
Oh no! Falling down from the stratosphere.
But fortunately, you can get back up because it's easy, and as long as you know what you're doing and you can use the reversals, you can get back up. So now in this case, I'm just going to try to knock him out again. And this time, I still leave Kozlov up because somehow I'm thinking his AI will just freeze there. Because sometimes they do. Sometimes they just freeze there, but I didn't get lucky. However, they were both still on the outside, so I decided this is my chance to go ahead and try to get some damage done onto that briefcase. Now what you want to do is you want to pull it, and you want to hold there, but unfortunately, you can get stuff like that as far as the RNG goes. The AI can be very stupid, and it can be to your benefit, or they can be very smart, and it will not be to your benefit when you're trying to get out of this match as fast as you can. That's pretty much the most consistent strat that we found, is just keep going after the briefcase and pray to RNGesus that he will spare you and show you mercy. So then he knocks out Kozlov, and I'm hoping now Jericho. Now when I see Jericho do that, I'm thinking perfect, because now I've set up the ladder. I'm going to take some time. Jericho gets that. And when I see Jericho do this right here, I've got a perfect opportunity now. I'm just going to keep pulling after the briefcase, because now he's going to be stuck in that Romero stretch. That's seconds I literally have pulling. That's 4 I've got down. And then when I see number 5, I've got that. But when Jericho throws me down, it's okay, because all I know now is that I just have to get up there one time, and I'll win the match, and I'll get out of there fairly easy. Now, I can get like godlike pace on here. I've gotten a very low 10-minute pace before, where I've had a run where I was like 7 minutes ahead of my PB, and it was just depressing, and you're about to find out why later on in the run. But anyway, I'm going to grab the ladder now that it's one pull. They're both on the outside. Kozlov runs in, but it doesn't matter as he crawls up, because as soon as I get the pull, it's free.
Does he have it? He did it!
And then I just fall on the ladder anyway and drop the case. Fumble. Doesn't matter, I still won though.
He got the contract.
So, I mean, that was an okay ladder match. I got out of there fairly easy. I mean, it could have went better. You know, I should have just went ahead and knocked them both out on the outside, but the Romero stretch spot really helped me out a lot, and I was able to get a lot of the work done, and so I can just get out of there fairly easy. And this is what I'm talking about with a cutscene right here. For some reason, it just has you go right here, skip a week of Raw, you're fixing to leave the arena. But in the meantime, I just want to let you know I'm playing a Stephanie McMahon.
You could beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania, you'll forever etch your name in WWE
I'm just
history.
playing as Stephanie. And now, of course, this is the background, the plots.
I think anyone in WWE can be defeated. It just takes... Wait a second. Are you okay?
Did something weird just happen?
Well, it's just your eyes glazed over a little bit. Come to think of it, you do look a little pale.
I'm sure I'll be fine. Nothing to worry about.
No, but I am worried. There's too much on the line here to leave things to chance. Take the night off. Go home and get some rest. Raw will survive if you miss a night.
Okay, Stephanie. You're the boss. Thanks.
And then that's that. I think I'm just going to keep quiet on the cutscenes from now on, because the acting on here is phenomenal in the worst way. Because the cutscenes like that, you can't do anything about. You actually have to sit there and do that. And a lot of time is wasted because you have to keep talking to Stephanie McMahon. You can't just fight the matches and yada yada yada. I really hate that, but you know, it's just if you've played through the full mode of this and now you see the what the fuck is going on here, the plot continues as the Undertaker is just going to continue messing with you. He's going to continue throwing obstacles in your way. He's going to continue being this supernatural phenom that he is and playing the ultimate mind games with you that you have no answer for. But this next part of the run can either make you or break you depending on what kind of RNG you get. This is probably the heaviest RNG dependent match here, as this is a 15-man battle royal where of course you have to be the last man standing and you have to eliminate everybody one by one. The reason I say it's RNG dependent is because you're hoping the druids will either eliminate themselves quickly in the process or you can eliminate them, and then you're hoping with every new druid that comes out, you have to face 14 of these guys now. They're all druids. You have to face all 14 that come out. What you're hoping for though is you're hoping that every new entrant that comes out doesn't just leisurely stroll down the ramp. You're hoping they actually run down the ramp into the ring, because that will help you advance the match and the story a lot faster. So now I'm just struggling to try to get the guy in the ropes right there, and then when the druid takes that, I'm just tilted. I'm angry because I'm like, oh, come on. Because he took my spot, and that's a big time loss right there, when I should have been the one to throw him out. And then there's just some more fumbling around because I'm just getting really bad luck. I'm just trying to get one of the druids in the corner, because the corner elimination in the Royal Rumbles is the fastest, and the only time I ever help out somebody else on another elimination is when they're on the ropes and not on the bottom rope, because if they're on the bottom rope, you may as well give it up. But if they're like right there in the corner where I can grab them and I can just hit 3 buttons to throw them out, or they're on the ropes where I can just mash buttons to get them out like you saw me do when there were 2 druids on 1 druid and I helped them out, that's the easiest way to get about it. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to clear the druids out of the ring to where I'm the only man left, so that way I can just continue to taunt, get finishers, and get out quickly. Now see that druid running down the ramp? That's more of what I want, although I'd rather have the druids immediately running down or doing a taunt on the top of the stage and then taking off from the top and running straight down. But other than that one little hiccup, so far so good as we go into number 9. We've still got a few more guys to come out as I'm still trying to work everybody out. There goes another one, and I'm just right there, and now you see that druid takes off. That's what I'm looking for there. I'm hoping they all just run to the ring, because if they run to the ring, then of course that just means they'll be in the ring a lot quicker. Now for those of you who played the new gen WWE games and saw that druid do the shoulder block there, you would think in the new gen games it would get broken up, which would be very annoying, but fortunately in 2011 this doesn't happen with the interrupts until WWE 12 comes out. This is the last one that does the interrupts of the moves, so that basically means if they try to break up anything you're doing, it's not going to matter too much in the long run. So now we're trying again. We finally got down to 1 druid. It's taken a long time to get there, but we're finally there. I'm going to eliminate this guy, and then I'm hoping the rest of the druids that are left from number 11 and to number 15 are going to run. But when I see this guy walking down, I mean, it's kind of free because I can just taunt and waste time, and it helps me build up a finisher really quick, so the elimination will be smooth and easy. But I'd honestly rather have the druids all running down the ramp so I can get the 3-button elimination. It doesn't really make much of a difference as far as that goes, but I think it does by seconds, I should say. Let me rephrase that. But I would rather all of them run down rather than taunt, wait for them to make their way down the ramp, throw them in the corner, and then use my finish. But if there's one that I want to do that, it'd be number 14, because that way it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter with number 15, because 15 could run or walk or whatever. I'm just going to save my finish for number 15 so I can get 15 out of the ring faster, because the finish elimination is actually faster than just doing 3 buttons and grappling them. So if you have a finisher, again, you can just get them over the top rope. And you would think it'd be smart to let the 2 druids grapple each other and then just do the end of the match where you can actually use a finish to eliminate 2 with 1. But honestly, I'd rather just go ahead and eliminate them, because that's also depending on the druids to lock up, and you could waste time doing that, or they could just both attack you and you may goof and get yourself eliminated in the process. See, like number 14 now, we're at number 14 on the druids. This guy, I don't mind him walking down because I can just taunt to a finish and then I can wait, throw him over with the 3-button elimination, and then as soon as number 15 comes out, I'm hoping 15 runs down so I can hit him with the finish elimination and be done with it. I'm actually going to lose some time because of that. The Druid RNG, really, as far as this goes, see like how he runs right there? That is what I want. That's the dream, because now he's over and out. He's already in the ring. I have a finish. I can just grab him. I can just do my finish. Boom, he's out. And that's the end of the match. But really good Druid RNG will actually determine what kind of pace you're going to have. You can have a terrible beginning, but if you have a godlike Druid Rumble, you're actually going to be on really, really good pace.
Anytime you win a battle,
inversely, if you have a great beginning but a really bad Druid Rumble, you can actually lose up to about a minute or 30 seconds, and that's what killed one of my runs as I was trying to record this with some better commentary. I would stream it, but my internet is absolutely terrible, which is why I'm doing commentary after a local recording so I can give a better idea of what's going on a better quality mic. So now this is the part where it's just absolutely resident sleeper for a couple minutes because it's a bunch of free roaming. You have to run to Stephanie McMahon, get a cutscene with her, then you get a phone call from Kane that you have to take, and he's like, "Oh no, you gotta grab the urn." You gotta run back to Stephanie McMahon. I'll shut up now.
You pulled it through.
Yeah, off.
But to business at hand. To beat the Undertaker, you'll have to get inside the Undertaker.
Load!
A mile in his shoes. Now, back at WrestleMania 18, he battled a crafty veteran in a no disqualification match. So tonight, you'll battle a similar opponent in a no disqualification match.
Whatever it takes.
Now, as I was saying, I really wish you could skip those cutscenes, but there's just nothing I can do. So now my phone goes off. You can answer it, but if you don't, it answers it for itself. So in this situation, I'm just going to let it ring so I can just hit B, and I'm already headed to where I need to be, which is supposedly my locker room of the 3 or 4 other locker rooms there. But yeah, cutscene time.
Every year, there are more souls. I can't keep them all back anymore. We need the urn. It's the only way to contain them. You have to find the urn. Use it to contain lost souls.
And I hate that it really makes you grab the urn, because what you are supposed to do in the context of the story is you're supposed to grab the urn and you're supposed to collect the lost souls, and along the way you're supposed to actually get in a couple challenge matches or fights with people in the back, because in a full completed run of this from beginning to end, you would actually get a bonus match with The Rock.
Don't you have a match?
Didn't you hear? They lost the feed in the production truck. We've got dead air.
They what? Oh no,
But, you know, we have to grab the urn to progress the story and move on with the run, which I feel is resident sleeper enough, man. I'm just... That's the point where when you see this and you're a speedrunner, it's like, because there's nothing you can do to skip this, and it upsets me so much, man. It tilts me beyond the point of tilting. Like, not even League of Legends games get me this upset and tilted at just how much time you have to waste just to get to the next match after you get through the Druid Rumble. But now we're finally on to the next match. We're finally in a no disqualification match, and it's going to be the most bloody, violent match you'll ever see. And it's against Finley, and the cool thing I forgot about Finley in this game is that when you do a street fight kind of match with him, he actually starts with his shillelagh, which I thought was really interesting. But even then, I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. Do your usual script. Fortunately, Finley doesn't have resiliency or anything that'll kick us, although he could reverse, but it's not going to matter because as soon as I hit this SOS, it's pretty free. It's donezo. Goodbye. See you later. What a match. Dave Meltzer rates this 5 stars. Great. Classic. And that's pretty much going to be like the majority of the run is exactly that from this point forward. Although we got to deal with more cutscenes, and this is where it will actually get kind of tricky as far as the run goes. You especially want to have speed for this next match here as we're in Omaha! I'm sorry, I can't do it like Peyton Manning. But anyway, we're moving on to our next match, and again, the script is the same. We're in a handicap match against Big Show and Mark Henry, where we completely forget that A-Train exists. Oh, and speaking of which, I forgot to mention with the no disqualification match. They mentioned a crafty veteran, and then right after that, King actually mentioned Ric Flair's name. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's right. Flair was in TNA when this game happened.
Nice going last week.
Ugh. You again. What now? You want me to emulate the Undertaker's love of flickering the lights off and on?
If you want to make history, you need to push yourself. You've never faced the challenge that awaits you at WrestleMania.
You're right. I'm listening.
WrestleMania 19. The Undertaker took on 2 massive superstars in a handicap match.
How massive are we talking here?
Do world's largest and world's strongest ring any bells?
Nobody said this was gonna be easy.
And so now we move on to our next match, which is again a handicap match with Big Show and Mark Henry. And like I was mentioning, you know, she said a no disqualification match in the last one that I completely forgot to mention. It's funny because they act like Ric Flair didn't exist, and yet Jerry the King Lawler just says Ric Flair right there on the in-game commentary. And I'm like, he was in TNA and they don't want to mention him, but King still does. Okay. But anyway, this is pretty easy as far as it goes if you can get it done really fast. But Mark Henry and Big Show can kind of screw you. Of course, because of this right here. Although Big Show, see, as he was walking in place, he wasn't doing an animation. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get out of this match as quick as I can, because there's a time interval where your controls will actually switch. And your diagonals are messed up, and so that's why I get mad when I miss the clothesline there, but then I hit him there and I run back normal. And you're going to see the screen flash in a minute after the cover, but after the finish it was already over. GG.
What a performance.
So you'll see the screen flash like that. What actually happens is with the time interval, if you're not fast enough, your controls will actually switch as far as your movement goes, and that'll really throw you for a bind, and you'll hear the Undertaker laughing at you before your controls go back to normal. So you definitely don't want to deal with that, and I think it gets worse as it goes on, or it just goes on in intervals. But anyway, it's just good to get out of there. And now here's the match where we actually have to do something other than just win. We actually have to meet a certain objective.
You're almost at the level where I feel confident in your chances against The Undertaker. I'm sure you remember his match at the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania against Shawn Michaels.
Of course. It was match of the year, hands down.
You're just not getting it. You need to do even more. You'll be taking on the Heartbreak Kid tonight, and I'll accept nothing less than a 5-star match.
Hey, I always perform at a high level.
So, guys, for all you internet marks out there, and for Mr. Dave Meltzer, we're actually going to learn, thanks to our friends at THQ, RIP, we're actually going to learn how to put on a 5-star match. And I hope you guys are ready for it. And then we got to hit A out of there. And I think you can't even win the match until you get the 5 stars. You could even just try to pin him early, but I think it would still give you an objective failed or something like that because you didn't get the 5 stars. I've never tried it, but I think that's what happens. But on the, I just play on the safe side and just give the game what it wants and go on. I think that's what happens anyway. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I played, but if that is what happens, it's kind of lame, and I think that's what happens. So anyway, there's 1 star. So it's a dud right now. Okay, now it's a passable match. All right, we're working up. We got 2 stars. We're almost there. Now what we got to do is in any 5-star match, you got to have some craziness. You got to have a stunt. A big stunt in every 5-star match that WWE ever has in any wrestling promotion ever, yes, including New Japan. This is basically shitting all over anybody who likes that Tanahashi or that Okada guy because they don't ever do this in New Japan. That's basically implying Japan cannot do a 5-star match ever. Because check this out, we're going to go up high, and what's a 5-star match without a moonsault through a table, and then an immediate no-sell with a kip-up. And a kip-up's fine from Shawn Michaels. It gives him an immediate finish, but it's not like you're going to be in any danger of losing because of that. Although I could have actually thrown him in, but I was hoping HBK would actually run straight back in the ring. But this is fine because I can knock him down, I can hit him with the leg drop, and because Kofi only has 1 signature, it gives you a free star. Whereas if you do the same finish twice, it doesn't give you the extra star. So now we have a 5-star match. Eat it, Meltzer. Eat it!
1, 2,
and we win anyway. That's the best part of a 5-star match. When you go over, brother. He was ready all along.
He's defeated the Heartbreak Kid.
So Kofi wins that, and then we move on. We're getting near the end of the run. Now we have to face, I think, 4 or 5 guys, I believe, before the actual end. But we're getting to the part that's fixing to get really fun. And by really fun, I mean fucking kill me.
Welcome to Raw.
So we're just going to let the phone ring because this is a situation. The only reason I answered my phone before talking to Stephanie at the Elimination Chamber is because you get the long cutscene and then the phone would go off right after, so I wouldn't want to deal with that. Whereas unlike this situation and the situation before, I'm only a few steps away from where I need to be to trigger the next scene. Fortunately, I can skip that cutscene pretty quickly, and then I can just move on, take the next match, and be done with life. GG. So now we're facing Jake the Snake Roberts, who for some reason, he doesn't have resiliency, I don't believe. I don't believe he has resiliency, but every time I ever play this match, he's the one that always kicks out. I can have perfect RNG, I could have the run, but every time I get this match with Jake, I hit the boom drop. And this is why I fucking hate Jake the Snake in this fucking run. Here's the finish. 1, 2, nope, he kicks out. And that tilts me to no end. It's like my friend Matt Neal, who gets tilted when he plays League of Legends in every Plat 5 match ever because his elo is too high and he gets full games with idiots and acts like, why does this happen? That's basically me when playing this match, especially when Jake starts doing that. I'm just like, dude, I come out of the first match with time building and building and building, and then when it comes to him, I lose time, so I always have time to save in every run when it comes to Jake the Snake. But fortunately, like every match, if you ever do get a kick out, by the way, because of a dude with resiliency or some dumb shit like this, when you hit your second finish, it won't matter. They don't usually kick out of 2 finishes. GG.
Kofi did it. Kofi, what a performance.
Alright, so now that this guy is out of the way, we're going to be facing a favorite of the New Legacy Inc. crew, and, well, currently the United States justice system, after so many years, finally. As we're in Portland, Oregon, to dish out some justice of our
home
own
of tonight's live
against a
edition.
very familiar Samoan. Oh, but before we get there, though, this is Two Cannon.
You have passed one test, poor soul, but there are others to face.
Wait 1 second. Didn't Undertaker bury you in cement?
Another opponent from Undertaker's past will challenge you tonight. A more intense task.
What do you mean?
You lost your mind, dude. You know that, right?
I don't have much faith in your abilities, and neither does my Undertaker. You have much to prove.
And that is the introduction of the man who will soon be known as the Ultimate Run Killer. As we move on into our match with a crackhead hooker killer by the name of Jimmy Snuka, who's finally going on trial for that shit. But now we're going to give him some social justice of our own, and we're going to make this guy job. Funny thing is, the objective is you have to beat him in less than 3 minutes. No, nobody said 3 minutes, you wrestling memers out there. Nobody said it! Anyway, now we go into it with our script. You know the drill. Fairly easy at this point. Thanks for coming. We go into the pay window, baby. Dusty Rose. Rest in peace, American Dream.
He's done it.
Anyway,
And here I only
we're only one match away from Run Killer number 1 and the other Run Killer. I say the other Run Killer because the other Run Killer is Undertaker. He's very fucking extremely hard to face, as you're going to find out. Just an early warning. But you'll see how we deal with him in this run. But as it stands, we have to move on, and we gotta run to our locker room now. I just love how the first part of this run starts fairly easy. Run to the... Hey, it's UFC fighter Phil CM Punk Brooks! I'm sorry. I had to. I love how it starts easy, though, the first part of the run. The first part of the run starts out easy. Go from the parking lot, run to the tunnel. Now it's time for your match. And now after this, it's just you got to run around 6 different places. I'm like, man, I just want to run the game. I just want to finish the matches. I don't care about plotting my speed runs. What's wrong with you? The only plot I care about is Pepsi Man. Because they'll have cutscenes that are amazing. And here's Kane. That's gotta be Kane, the big red machine. Save me, Kane! The man of many memes, who's going to fall to a big meme of our own. The meme of... I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff. I'm not the funny man. I just explain what I'm doing. But anyway, again with this usual script, SOS, these matches are pretty free. 1, 2, 3, and now the fun begins, boys. Now the real fun begins, because we're entering Run Killer territory, where if you're on amazing pace and you've saved minutes of time, prepare for all of that to be thrown away, all because of one fat dead son of a bitch who won't stay down.
Hello from Los Angeles.
That's right, I'm talking about the career of Scott Steiner. No, I'm just kidding. What I'm talking about is Paul Bearer. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have to fight Paul Bearer. But here's the fucking trick about it, and why I fucking hate playing against Paul Bearer, and why my other friend Delta, who runs this game, hates playing against Paul Bearer. As you're about to find out. Okay, so you see that timer right there? We have 1:30 to beat Paul Bearer. Sounds easy, right? You're about to find out why it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw him face first into the TV. Face first into the TV. Bring him down. We have a signature. That's our boom drop. But in outside territory, it becomes Just a simple knee drop to progress us to the finish. Here's the Trouble in Paradise. Ring the bell. He's already done. No, he's not. He is not done. And you're about to see how angry I am as I just throw him into TV. Throw him into TV again. Bring him down with another move, although it's not the one I wanted. Hit him with another knee. Keep track. That's 2 signatures he's taken. And now the Trouble in Paradise. This should do it, right? Nope. Not over. And we still have 40 seconds and 1 reversal at this point, or 1 part where he recovers and runs away. Screws this whole thing kaput. So now we move on. Here's a 3rd signature. This man is like Dr. Mundo in League of Legends. If you don't build anything for him and he becomes a monster, you can't stop him or kill him. And that's why I fucking hate Paul Bearer, because he tanks everything. He's taken 3 signatures and 3 finishers, and he makes you run through the whole hour or minute 30 just to get to this point. And if you don't do it in the first try, you may as well consider your run dead. It's fucking annoying. It's literally annoying. But it's good that we got out of there perfect. What you want to do in that situation is you want to throw him into the TV, because the TV gives you big momentum, and you want to immediately combo your signature and your finisher and do it again until he finally gets knocked out. It takes 7 total, as you saw there. And now we're on to WrestleMania, where this is literally the only time one certain strat is viable. Now, for those of you who've seen old, like maybe people who've run through Here Comes the Pain or Shut Your Mouth, the easiest way to get a victory is by what? Putting a table in the ring and getting the guy disqualified. We're going to do something similar to that scumbagginess because, well, doing our usual script on Taker doesn't work, and you're about to see why. We run at him, and he just immediately reverses and gets his signature. That's because even on the lowest difficulty in the game, the Undertaker is actually a very, very dangerous opponent. He's a guy that you can't just basically fight straight up. So there's one certain strategy I'm going to do to get out of this match as fast as I can. But when he does stuff like that, it's just kind of hard. So now I'm going to try to throw him out. Nothing going there. Bring him down. There he goes. Boom. All right. Taker gets quickly up to his feet. I run at him. I do the Irish whip. I get him on the outside. That's what I want, because even if I miss that, I'm still on the outside. He's going to drop off the apron. This is exactly what I want so far. And I finally bring him down exactly perfect as planned. Because what you're going to do to get the quickest victory against the Undertaker, you're going to cheese him a bit. He grabs me. It's fine. I can just reverse and drag him over to the table. Now, the interesting thing is the AI acts like they have no options. So what I want to do here is I want to keep Undertaker on the announcer's table as long as I can while the referee's counting. I pay attention to the count. I'm at 6 right now. So then I'm going to try to get Undertaker again. Counts at 7. And I'm trying to keep him there as long as possible. He reverses finally. 8 there. And so we're going to throw him on the table. He's on the edge. The count is at 9. Now all I have to do is get in the ring. And then GG, we just beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. Easiest win of my fucking life. And that's it. That is literally the freest way to beat The Undertaker, and that's how I got my new PB, which I should have mentioned. I did time the run. I have split sport to prove it. In case anybody wants to proof call me, you can also time it from yourself. It's from the first input I ever start with in week 1 as Kofi, all the way to when the bell rings at WrestleMania. My final time was 42 minutes, 10 seconds. I'm just going to go ahead and let this play out. But that's it for me.
All the respect in the world for you,
I'm out of here. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the run, and we'll see you later.
WWE has ever seen. But after tonight, you and your streak will rest in peace.
He let him go. I don't think Undertaker has ever shown anyone as much respect as he did right there.
we seen an era come to an end, Michael?
Perhaps you're looking at a brand new legend in the ring right now.